Okay, this is the 2AC. Order is framing and then the politics decide. Starting on framing. Evaluate probability times magnitude by multiply internal links, even if the distance of 60/40, the collective risk is 12%. The app outweighs a ethics of care. Accepting vulnerability includes land dispossession as existential, solving X rays through structural drivers and making society authoritarian, and that's choose evidence. B, coloniality, future generations and solve things later are empirically responsible for land dispossession. That chooser answering the util good. We never disagreed with util, but extinction first doesn't access higher utility. Answering the turns case, no turns case to relies on them winning every step of the descent, and it's happening now, so you should be skeptical about letting it continue. Answering the future gens, no future gens, it collapses. Decision making since risk is still infinity. Value to life is basic consciousness, not new life, and it also justifies forced reproduction and pro-life ideology. Answering the scope neglect, no scope neglect, it causes underestimation of cumulative effects or wrought to structural violence towards natives on the politics decide. You want the unionist counterplan, do the counterplan, do the plan, and non-mutually exclusive parts of the counterplan. Unionist counterplans are a voting issue to source of infinitely unpredictable kills half grounded straight turns on the decide. One court neutralized backlash was on 18. Afternoon Congress said that Supreme Court gave me a brand heal. The court does not offend. Congress to invest in time in the Capitol. It has very little to fear after the Garnish Republicans done without action. The court may be above all politics rulings that are immune to political response. They can announce after passage. SCOTUS 10. The court maintains all cases have been decided to the courts to announce. 2. No spillover. The plan is narrowly interpreted. Voucher 23. Anti-terrorist generous entities tailored to the unique circumstances of Alaska, nor else the exception, not the rule. 3. The CR is top of the docket, and the ACA won't pass. PBN 123. Deals to revive the enactment of Obamacare subsidies hopelessly out of reach. Final FY 2026 of government-funded panic attacking the PBN reforms and the broader funding passage is the deal isn't happening. Neither is a path forward to the Senate. The deal doesn't include ACA subsidies. Looking into 119. Deal does not cover in session subsidies primary health care does not that policy that Democrats and some Republicans have focused. 4. Native self-determination is bipartisan. McCarthy 25. Kicking off the Congress with a hearing of focus native on the plan priorities is to serve the interests of native people across the federal government with a historic bipartisanship, progress on issues like safety and justice, passage of tribal MMIW initiatives, huge investments in infrastructure through bipartisan infrastructure law. Cut the credit law. 5. Healthcare subsidies fail, inflated tax, causes fraud, millions opt out. Michael's 1007. Who should not accept pandemic subsidies? Subsidies allow insurance to shift directly to premium on transaction barriers insurer. Stock prices include 1,000%. The program is more than 6.4 million new property enrollees. The threefold increases in the zero claim enrollees since COVID collaborated corroborates widespread fraud. Put the card of fraud. State solved. Toy 1-2. State leaders are prepared to make Congress working answer credits will initially answer march on the state. Leaders so whatever do what's ready to do whatever is necessary to accommodate the essential. We are ready to to move mountains. 7. There have been expanded land acreage by tens of thousands for Alaskan natives, which is previously identical. That's their own DOI evidence. DOI and also a commands of 28,000 acres. A corporation under NCSA advancement of Trump administration priorities and unleash Alaska's resource potential, opening land into native hands, reduces federal barriers to resource development. 9. The pandemic can cause extinction. Taurus at 23. Scientists skeptical. A pandemic kills everyone. You need to reach everyone. Isolated corners, anti-Arctic. Research stations, ships, nukes, ships, bunkers. Virus needs to be transmitted without fail. It would be needed to avoid medical treatments. Would have to be maintained despite the selective pressures towards lethal variants. You would need to find a way to evade basic measures. That's Tom.
Okay. Did you get to everything?
Except 2 cards. I didn't read Trump vetoes, and I didn't read long-term changes in health overwhelm the effect of one subsidy bill.
Okay. Got
So I
it.
read 8 responses.
All right. I have how much time free prep? I have 3 minutes free prep starting now.
But you know, a lot of people got like called to Fairbanks because of the DS thing.
Oh, really? Okay.
All right, it's been 2 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Okay, that's free prep. I'm done prepping. I'm just like waiting for my document to load because my computer's being slow.
Is your cards?
Yeah, let me send the cards. There might be some extras because I prepped this out beforehand, but yeah, let me send them over. Okay, I sent it. Okay. Did you get it?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait. Oh, 1 second. How much time do you have?
For this speech, I have 6 minutes.
6 minutes. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, good to start.
Wait, what's your order?
Counterplan, then framing, and decide.
Okay. Starting. No.
Take the counterplan, concede the permits irrelevant. They haven't made an argument for why Trump wouldn't want to sign the bill into law. Will pass means he'll face mass opposition from both sides if he doesn't. Now answers to court neutralized. Congress in recess is irrelevant. One theory, the plan takes effect after recess that preserves trade-off Fed and politics needs and in most real world. No offense, they're back in less than a week, or Congress can't act in recess if the plan is immediate and never happens. Presumption. The CRA requires congressional approval of agency action. It must happen after their back, which also zeros agency shields. CRA strengthened a congressional oversight of federal agencies, required agencies to report on new rule to both houses of Congress before rule takes effect. And two, backlash to argue about which plan, which splinters bipartisanship when they return. Now on the thumper, the CR doesn't thumb bipartisan top of docket laws 112. ACA enhanced tax credit subsidies sat at the forefront of debate where the parties as they tried to pass a stopgap and won't pass. ACA subsidies pass now. One, internal documents. Congressional leaders have reached a deal with bipartisan win, but it requires bipartisanship to gain enough momentum to pass. That's Kang. Two, concessions. Weighing 121. Bipartisan negotiations are underway to receive ACA subsidies where Republican-controlled House already passed with a handful of Republicans with Dems. Senate Republicans are seeking policy changes in exchange for the support of an extension. 3, Democratic pressure. Bolton 123. Senate Majority Leader coming under increasing pressure from Senate Republican and midfields of Democratic wave pressure from moderate to swing state Republicans to extend ACA subsidy. Colin Hockley, Moreno wants to extend subsidies. 4, bipartisanship. Insurance Newsnet 120. ACA implication bipartisan talks in the Senate to revive subsidy are continuing, but with lawmakers expressing optimism. 5, healthcare package. Pro 122. Congress and the President are likely to pursue subsidies paired with familiar proposals such as HSAS. And now compartmentalized. This is irrelevant. Our link is about bipartisanship and negotiation, not single members. PC, no compartmentalization. It's disproven by the link. PC's finite till the plan trades off. Capital is finite and cost issue will trade off. Smith 21. PC is an infinite when deciding which problems prioritize. Obama focused on health, provoked backlash, and forfeited capital instead of bipartisan left clamoring for major action on a variety of issues need to spend capital. Realty's assistant means will wait, can't afford to get sidetracked. Consensus agrees. Buyers 20. Number of studies show how Congress considers presidential approval honeymoon increased likelihood of success. Congress aware and capitulate previous factors influence ability to have proposals to make it through unpopular circle proposal acted on. And answers to self-defeat bipartisan. Reject evidence. The author is libertarianism and highly democratic, so it's also biased. Also, it's not bipartisan. It's unpopular. Now, answers to subsidies fails. ACA passage is necessary for bioinnovation. The most comprehensive meta studies find a direct correlation between health insurance and incentives for firms to innovate medical solutions. It drives market value and increases allocation of medical resources and creates patents and R&D investment. That's fan. Prefer comprehensive recent studies. You want 25. For pharma innovation, I find that ACA incentivized to reallocate R&D one standard deviation increase in exposure to latent increase of 4.6 trial initiations per quarter, approximately 1.4 times the mean, already significant impact, more pronounced for conditions in top percentiles. ACA led to increase in clinical R&D driven by continuation of on-the-shelf clinical projects. It creates a ripple effect across the entire healthcare industry. Expiration of ACA leaves Americans without health insurance, create ripple effects across the healthcare system with many face premium issues, forcing them to forego insurance when coverage drops. Hospitals face high care costs, creates financial strain on healthcare system as a whole. And answers to states say so long time, impact outweighs on time frame. Also, states don't solve cross apply the ACA passage is necessary. Okay.
Okay. Is that time?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, what was your first thing on framing?
I think it was. Hold on, my bad. I closed the document.
I just heard a bunch of politics stuff.
Okay, yeah, actually, we skipped over framing in the 2C.
So you dropped framing, okay. Oh, shoot. Start prep. Assume that I use 30 seconds. My bad.
Okay.
3:30.
Okay.
How much time do I have left? Or how much time do I have in the speech?
You have 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Okay. Okay. Order is framing, then the dissad.
Okay.
Starting now. On framing, a risky equals magnitude probability times magnitude probability multiplies internal link likelihood. A reject extinction outweighs one coloniality extinction or logic differs. Native solutions causing land dispossession. Two ethics of caregiving. A native land results drives of extinction because society is more egalitarian. If we win framing, you automatically look to debate to this debate as no extinction outweighs. Their entire dissent is based on extinction outweighs. But one, they didn't even warrant anything. They didn't impact out. They didn't impact anything in the previous speech. Do not let them impact out random stuff in the 2NR. That this is already the dissent is cooked. We proved to you extinction outweighs. They drop all of our warrants. You automatically look to a debate that self-determination is this powerful thing, and they have no probability on extinction outweighs. You buy that and cross-apply all that to the dissent about the extinction outweighs bad stuff that they dropped in their last speech. Do not let them make new responses. On the uniqueness, the ACA is unlikely to pass one negotiations. They're failing right now and haven't made progress due time. Enrollment open soon, and every second that passes by decreases. The audit passage, 3 abortion. Republicans reject current compromises because of subsidies covering abortion. 4 Trump, even if it passes the House, he doesn't want to sign it. 5 numbers, they've dropped the policy funding, and foreign policy are distractions that mean it can't pass its wealth. Trump, even if it passes, it's vetoed. Train 112. Trump said he might veto legislation to extend the subsidies, injecting further uncertainty. On the link trend, the plan's political. Trump's rollback self-determination policy, selling off land trust for the first time since 1960. Our evidence is the only card about land trust that's CS. They completely concede our CS card. And it's uniquely key because you auto buy like the card that the most important card because it's the only card in this round read so far that is actually about land trusting specifically. They're cooked on everything else. They read random link blocks for 5 minutes and they think they can win off that. There's 2 key blocks that go drop. A state solve. They literally drop the Choi 1-2 block as a state plan. Leaders say that they are prepared to make Congress pass. And we literally tell you that the state solves. They drop the solvency block. They have no solvency themselves. They drop another way we can do the dissent and how we can solve for the dissent like risks and stuff. But even if you don't buy that, they drop the towards that 23 evidence that pandemics can cause extinction. And regardless, even if you don't buy that they drop it or whatever, you still look to our framing and we tell you that extinction outweighs is bad, low risk, low probability, and we tell you probability in terms of magnitude is most important, but they have no probability. You look to our warrants when it comes to why extinction outweighs is so bad, and all their dissent is talking about is how extinction outweighs. You don't buy it at all. They dropped all of the reasons why extinction is bad. You can't vote off the dissent.
Okay.
Starting now.
Wait, quick question. Which CS card are you talking about? Because in the cards you sent to me, there's no CS card.
The one from the 1AC. Or wait, what's this? Let me find it.
Yeah, because you didn't send it.
Actually, never mind. You can like skip that response. My bad.
Right.
Skip the link turn response.
Okay. Okay. Actually, I have 30 seconds left. I'll just take all of it.
Okay, you have 20 seconds left.
Yeah. Okay, that's prep. There's like
Okay.
no new
What's your
card.
order? Just the politics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, just like a little bit about framing at the top, but yeah, mostly politics.
When you dropped it, okay, whatever. Okay, 3:30. Wait, how much time?
It's 3:30.
Oh yeah. Okay, my bad.
Framing, you cross up the state solve response where we see that impact outweighs on time from the util good extinction first. Just use this against this. Now go to the disad. Strike new responses in the 1AR. They say that even if it passes the House, Trump doesn't want to sign it. Strike this in the 1AR. They clearly said they didn't read this in the 2AC. You cannot bring it up again in this speech. And then they talk about their link term response. There is no link term response. Don't believe any of their bullshit on this. When they talk about a card that was never mentioned in the entire debate, you cannot believe whatever they brought up in the 1AR about a link term response. They say that we dropped state solve. It's not my fault. They it can't fall. Repeat the response. Stay still takes a long time. Impact outweighs on time frame. Also stay still, solve cross-off ACA passage is necessary. We clearly responded to this. It's not my fault they didn't put it on their flow. And also they dropped that impact outweighs on time frame, so you look to the neg for this. And then they dropped that self-D is not bipartisan, reject evidence, alters libertarianism, and highly democratic, so it's already biased. Also, it's not bipartisan, isn't popular. So these two went dropped. And on framing, we already mentioned that impact outweighs on time frame, so you always look to time frame first, which means we still win the framing debate and we win the dissat debate because there is no link-term response, and they bring up a bunch of new responses in the 1AR that cannot be brought up because it's a time skew for me, and anything else that they brought up was just an extension not properly warranted, and we extend that state solve, we extend our response to state solve, and they dropped that self-D is not bipartisan, so you always look to the neg for this ballot.
Okay, no prep. All right. Okay. Starting. All right, orders framing politics. Starting. Now, Aussie's completely cooked. Going to framing. You looked at this debate on our framing because they completely dropped it in the last speech. Means you looked at the review where extinction does not, where you reject extinction outweighs. Their entire dissat is extinction outweighs. They literally conceded framing. There, you have to strike all of their impacts off the dissat. There's no way you can vote off the dissat if their impact is non-existent. Again, for framing, risk equals probability times magnitude, probability multiplies internal link likelihood. They drop coloniality. Extinction logic defers native solutions causing land dispossession, and 2, ethics of care, giving native land resolves drivers of extinction because society is more egalitarian. I'll go to the uniqueness. They dropped 5 warrants. The ACA is unlikely to pass. 1, negotiations. They're failing right now and haven't made any progress. 2, time. Enrollment opens soon, and every second that it passes by decreasing the odds of passage. 3, abortion. Republicans reject current compromises because of subsidies covering abortion. 4, Trump. Even if it passes the House, he doesn't want to sign it. 5, thumbers. They dropped it. That policy funding and foreign policy are distractions. It means it can't pass. They say Trump thing was. And if you don't buy that, we literally read the entire card. New, but no, we made that response. In the previous speech, it's not like we extended a card that we didn't read. Sure, you can strike the link turn thing. We cooked them on everything else. They only extend their state self response. Sure, even if you buy that, doesn't outweigh. And there's no way. Like you look to the framings page because they completely conceded it. You buy that, reject extinction outweighs. Do not let them bring their time frame thing. Their time frame thing is completely new and like you can look to your flow. You never heard her say that in the previous speech. You always look through extinction. Rejects the extinction outweighs. Yeah, so in conclusion, you buy our framing. Extinction outweighs. That completely takes out the dissats like entire impact. You don't vote off the dissat. Even if you don't buy that, you vote at the uniqueness, and the ACA itself is just not gonna pass. We give you 5 warrants. Plus, if you buy the Trump, even if it passes, it's vetoed. They just say strike it because it wasn't read or some extension problem. We literally read the entire card. If you roll back the video, you can literally hear I tried to spread the entire card. And then actually, you know what? I'm just gonna extend the Thorstat 23 evidence. Pandemics can't cause extinction. We read this in our previous speech, but they dropped it in their past speech. That means you also buy that there's no impact. Even if you don't buy the framing, you buy that there's no pandemics don't cause extinction. That's the Thorstat 23 evidence that says that scientists are actually skeptical. A pandemic kills everyone. You would need to reach everyone. Isolated corners. Antarctic research stations ship nuclear submarines, bunkers. Viruses need to be transmitted without failure. It would need to avoid millions and millions of like the security measures in order to break. There's no way, and they don't even outweigh on time frame. Like we literally give you so much evidence proving that they don't outweigh on time frame, and they didn't know impact calc in the last speech. Do not let them do impact calc in this speech. They haven't even said the word time frame in their last speech. Do not make that a reason to vote for the negative. Vote F.
Okay. Let's stop the recording.